Hello there YouTube, this is FrDougal9000 and welcome to my second and embarrassingly long overdue Q&A session. Gathering up all kinds of questions asked by you awesome viewers, it's time for me to try and answer these questions to the best of my ability. So sit back, listen to some relaxing music, and enjoy the questions asked in a random order because I felt like it. What is your favorite genre of gaming? Alright, there are a lot of genres I like, but out of all of them, my favorite would probably have to be the platforming genre. Be it 2D or 3D, there are just a lot of things you get in platforms that you don't see anywhere else in the gaming industry. From colorful characters to large abstract environments to a wide audience ranging from little kids to really old adults and more that I really love about this particular genre. Hell, about half of my gaming collection is made up purely of platformers, so that should tell you plenty about how much I love them. What is your favorite console of all time? It's hard to say. My two favorite consoles are the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox 360. The PS2 for having loads of interesting and awesome games and being completely backwards compatible with the PlayStation 1, and the 360 for also having many cool looking varied games and for being able to download even more games and demos that take one's fancy. But if I had to decide, it would probably be the PlayStation 2 because the 360's backwards compatibility is a bit flawed, and some of the nonsense like gold subscription fees and insanely long updates that do nothing at all can get really bloody grating. So yeah, the PlayStation 2 is my favorite console of all time. If you had to remake one of your favorite games in HD, what would it be? Out of all of them, and there are a lot, I would probably have to go with Crash TwinSanity, mainly because that game had a lot of cut content that could have made it bloody amazing. If I could put all of the cut content and unused ideas back into TwinSanity, I would remake the entire game just to see what could have been, especially if it helps make one of my all-time favorite games even better than it already is. Do you think poor business practices are killing gaming as we know it? I don't think it's going to kill the industry the same way that it caused the great gaming crash of 1983 at least. Because gaming's just too damn popular these days to be killed by something like shitty practices like always online DRM, franchise zombies, copycat games, and so on. Things are getting pretty out of control, I'll admit that much, but what I think will probably happen is that the industry is going to go through a hell of a restructuring at some point in order to sort out the huge mess we've gotten into. And hopefully when that happens, we'll have something better than we can even imagine right now. What is your favorite Sly Cooper game? I've only played Sly 1 and 2, and even then I only got through about 1 or 2 worlds in each before giving up in frustration. But out of what I've played, I thought that Sly 1 was the more enjoyable game, mainly because I didn't have to put up with the rather average gameplay of Bentley and Maurice stages. What's your favorite Ratchet & Clank game? It's hard to say. I like the amount of platforming and gadgets in Going Commando, but I also like blowing everything up and the epicness in Up Your Arsenal. However, the difficulty spikes in Going Commando were unbelievably annoying, and the plot in Up Your Arsenal was actually pretty good. So for this one, I'll have to say that Ratchet & Clank 3 is my favorite overall. Though like I said in my review for that game, you should still try out both of them nonetheless. Are you a fan of Team Fortress 2? If so, what's your favorite class? Unfortunately, no, I'm not a fan of Team Fortress 2, mainly because I'm not into multiplayer-only games. In any case, my favorite class would probably be the Spy, though we all know why that's the case. What's your favorite Sonic game? Oh, that's a tough one. But I do at least have a favorite game for each era. For the classic days or the Mega Drive era, it would have to be either Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is better than the first one and didn't have the idiotic levels of 3 and Knuckles, or the criminally underrated Knuckles Chaotix for the 32X, simply because of how much fun I had playing that game. In the Dreamcast era, I'd go for the nostalgic Sonic Heroes, which I'll claim to my grave is 1,000,000 times better than Adventure 1 and 1,000,000,000 times better than Adventure 2. As for the modern era, it'll probably have to be the amazing platformer fan service known as Sonic Generations, though I'm looking forward to Lost World to see how that'll turn out. If you were in charge of a game developer, what kind of game would you make? I wouldn't make one particular kind of game, because I'd like to tackle loads of different genres and gameplay styles to see how I do. But if I had to pick 5, I would go for 1, a free-roaming 3D platformer along the lines of Crash TwinSanity or Jak and Daxter, 2, a Metroidvania-style 2D platformer, 3, a handheld point-and-click adventure game with occasional action sequences, 4. A visual novel so I could brush up on my writing skills. And 5. If I can, a Sonic the Hedgehog dating sim with yaoi out the ass. What type of gamer are you, or do you see yourself as? Microsoft, Nintendo, or Sony? I see myself as someone who just plays games. Regardless of what type they are, I don't see myself as casual or hardcore. Just a typical gamer that likes playing all manner of games as long as they're good, regardless of what format or company it's from. To answer your second question, I am a Sega gamer. How are those new kitties you got? Having fun with them? Oh, they are so adorable, yet utterly freaking insane. They keep exploring around the house and messing about with each other whenever they get the chance, but I just love them to bits for that. What job do you want a career in? I'd like to go for a number of different careers, but the 4 I really want to do are writing, 2D animating, game designing, or whatever the term is for basically coming up with ideas and telling people to make them into reality, and composing music. What are your favorite movies? In no particular order, The Goonies, the recobbled recut of The Thief and the Cobbler, Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva, and the end of Evangelion, just to name a few. Who is your favorite superhero? Out of everyone, it would either have to be Batman or Spider-Man, but it's a hard call to make. Kick-ass hero from the animated series, Brave and the Bold, or a nostalgic jokester badass. Oh, God knows. What's your favorite superhero game? Alright, this might be pretty obvious, but Spider-Man 2, the video game. Though not for the typical reasons. It's actually my favorite because it's actually a really relaxing game to me. Whenever I'm having a bad day or just feeling really off, booting up Spidey 2 and swinging about the streets of New York is oddly therapeutic. I don't know why it is, but for keeping my sanity in check during the more troublesome or irritating days, Spider-Man 2 stays my favorite superhero game. What is your favorite movie trilogy? I have none, at least at the moment. If there are a trio of movies that really make me go, wow, I'll get back to you on that one, mon ami. Who are your favorite anime characters? I haven't watched too many anime shows to be fair, but if I had to pick a number of characters that really got me, I'd have to pick the vengeful, badass, drunkard, but all-around awesome Misato Katsuragi from Neon Genesis Evangelion, the rather bitter but still strong during even the hardest of times Kaworu Yamazaki from Welcome to the NHK, and Yamayugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Dan Green. Will you ever make a Twitter account? Probably not. I've never really been interested in social networking sites, and Twitter is no exception to that. I get why people use it, but I'm not the kind of person that likes to spout things out to people every 5 seconds, especially in case I say something I'll regret, which happens a lot, believe me. Do you like any rap music? Eminem, Tiny Tempa, etc., and no, Knuckles cheesy rap does not count, we all love that. I'm not into rap at all, actually. I was into it for a small while about a year or two ago, but these days I find 90% of rap to be really annoying nonsense, so I just tend to avoid it whenever I can. Do you like the following sitcoms? Drake and Josh, 2.5 Men, Friends, Last of the Summer Wine, and Mrs. Brown's Boys. I used to love watching Drake and Josh when I was younger, and to this day I still occasionally check it out as a guilty pleasure, though I've grown out of love with Dan Schneider's random equals humor sitcoms in recent years. I watch 2.5 Men every now and again, and I do enjoy it, but if you dare show me the post-Sheen episodes, I shall feed you to rabid dogs. I have never really gotten into Friends, but then again I can't stand 99% of American sitcoms, so the fact that I don't want to shoot on first sight has to say something about it, right? As for Last of the Summer Wine, the later episodes in the series after 2000 did go down in quality, and the slapsticky escapades can get a bit tiring after a while, but let it be known that I will never refuse to watch it whenever it reruns on Gold for the 10th time that afternoon. And to be honest, I've never actually watched Mrs. Brown's Boys that much to really say anything of it. But what I did see of it, I actually thought it was pretty funny, if a bit cringeworthy, so I might check out a bit more of it in the future. What are your genuine thoughts on Dan Green? Personally, I love his amazingly hammy acting and how he basically sounds like he's having a ton of fun whenever he's voicing anyone, to the point where I'd recommend watching Yu-Gi-Oh! The Pyramid of Light only for Dan's truly outstanding performances. Seriously, they are amazing. As for the tragic event of his wife's death and being forced to retire from VA work to take care of his 2 kids, I can only wish the best for the guy and hope that he'll get back into doing voice acting once more someday. I mean, if Amanda Wynne Lee can drop out of acting to take care of her blind son and then can start showing up again in roles for stuff like Persona 4 years later, what's to say the same can't happen to our favorite Egyptian pharaoh? What is the meaning of life? Well, whatever one makes for it. But as for me, the answer will have to be whatever the question is that has the answer 42. Would I by any chance go on Steam? Not at the moment. I'll probably check it out in the future, but unless they start selling the original Crash Bandicoot and Spyro trilogies on Steam, they will not be getting any of my money for the time being, whatever little of it I can actually spare. What do I like to do in my spare time? To name a few, I like browsing countless articles on TV tropes, listening to awesome video game and anime music, watching TV shows I can't find on DVD through YouTube, and of course, looking up Sonic the Hedgehog Rule 34 and taking Captain Picard to warp speed. Wait, one of those doesn't sound right. Whatever. Show me a picture of your house. Alright, here it is. Beautiful, ain't it? Name your favorite YouTube channels. Out of the various channels I've watched, my favorites would probably have to be Mr. Fusion, Gexup, Josh Scorcher, and Team 4-Star Bridge, just to name a few. Though that isn't really a YouTube channel, but whatever. And that's it for my second Q&A. Yeah, there aren't as many questions as last time, maybe it's not as memorable, but I certainly hope that you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making these videos. And as a special bonus, I'll also dedicate this credit section to telling you guys about some of the videos I'm planning to do in the foreseeable future. So enjoy the bonuses, thank you all for your questions, and I hope you all have a great day. I'm FrDougal9000, and I'm off to work on whatever else I've got on my work line. Until we meet again, so long, and thanks for all the fish.